Thank you. On the show tonight, the actor who paid his dues in some truly terrible TV soaps before becoming a superstar of movies, he is George Clooney. Plus, one of our most versatile and beloved performers, Dawn French. Now, our first guest story is one of the most extraordinary I've ever come across, and I've heard one or two doing this job. An unhappy childhood led to living rough in London. Surviving that, she became a model. Then tragedy. She was involved in an accident and lost a leg. Her refusal to regard herself as disabled made her an inspirational figure worldwide. And then, just to prove fairy tales do happen, she married a Beatle. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Mills-McCartney. I'm going to be cheeky. Is that a Stella McCartney dress?
It's not tonight. It is a lot of the time,
Is
but
it?
it's not tonight.
I
We've been moving every 2 days, so I haven't got back to the house for a while.
I only ask you that because of all the press there's been about you allegedly not getting on with Paul's children. I mean, what's the truth of all that?
And that's why I'm always wearing her clothes, Michael.
Is it?
Yeah, because we don't get on, of course.
You don't? No. You've never got on at all?
No, never got on. That's why she was at the wedding, and we do charity together.
Yeah. So they're all lies, are they?
Unfortunately, for them.
Yes. Why do you think the media have been like this? Why do you think they've tried to make this rift between you and the family?
I think because it's easy. If I was an editor and I had somebody that wouldn't talk to the press, it's easy to make up, oh, well, there's a 30-year marriage there, how's she going to live up to the legend of Linda? There's kids, you know, there's always problems between stepmothers, you know, think of Cinderella or whatever, you know, you've got the wicked stepmother and then there's the kids and then it's just very easy to make up. And you just can't take the bait, and I don't think the public are that stupid to believe everything they read.
Does Linda cast a long shadow, though, nonetheless?
No, not at all. I mean, for me, what people don't realise is that I have a huge amount of respect for that marriage, and she did a great job on him. You know, she trained him up well, and I believe that when you've loved like he's loved, it's much easier to fall in love because you haven't got so many barriers and you're not so kind of, oh, hang on a second. So, no, absolute respect for that.
Apart from the obvious hurt of seeing lies about you in a paper, the sort of hurt, the offence, has there been any more practical result of this kind of media interest or media
in a good
criticism?
way?
In a bad way?
In a bad way, recently, to get it straight, for 8 years the media were fantastic with me because I was the model that overcame adversity and supposedly inspired other disabled people and amputees. Poor girl's had a rough life, loses a leg, now she's got to crawl to the loo at night, this, that. But then I went quiet. So understandably, after being very open, I wrote a book which the money went to charity 9 years ago, and then I updated it recently, but there wasn't any support this time, even though it goes to charity, because I wouldn't do any interviews, and you know, the only
because of your relationship with Paul?
Because I want to protect Paul and his children of their privacy. Sure. You know, they're very private. So we agreed, because someone was going to do an unauthorised biography, that I would update the book and call it A Single Step and put the money for charity, but only in America, so I didn't have to promote it here, because it's only in Britain where it's pretty hard.
But didn't I read that because of the adverse publicity that people stopped sponsoring you and your charity?
Yeah, we had a lot of that.
I mean, was that really the reason, do you think?
Yeah, it was. We got. That's the letters we got back. In fact, I've been trying to make, you know, these limbs that I'm always flashing off available to all amputees. With the cosmetic covers, and the manufacturers actually said to the prosthetist, we can't manufacture them with Heather Mills because she gets such bad press. Yeah. So it's not just attacking me, it's literally depriving millions of people from, because they don't want that association. They'd rather go with someone else, and there's many charities to choose from, so they don't want that association. And then I sue and I win, but you get that much of an apology, because they make up things about the charity. They've made up things saying I'm doing a vegetarian cookery book, as if I'm going to do that. You know, I like cooking, but I'm not doing a vegetarian cookery book.
They said you've been pregnant.
They said I've been pregnant, which is really hurtful, knowing that I've had cancer of the uterus, I've had 2 ectopic pregnancies. The chances of me getting pregnant are about that much. And I'm sure for any woman out there, it's hard enough when your family keep going, when are you going to have a baby then? When are you going to have a baby then? And never mind, the whole world keeps saying, oh, she's pregnant this week. You know, don't you have to have sex to get pregnant anyway, Michael?
But what about the but what about the business of your entire life? I mean here it would seem that you've come to a situation. I think I read once where you said your life was a jigsaw puzzle, and you were looking forward to some blue sky. And marrying Paul was blue sky. But it seems to me that in fact all these problems are occurring. I suppose the consolation you have is that all things pass, and also too, Paul would know that. I mean, Linda went through this as well.
Oh, much worse.
There's something about that man, you know, about marrying that man. You mustn't do it. It's like a public monument.
Yeah, I know.
You mustn't touch.
I know. Well, I didn't realise that because I was never a Beatles fan. And I fell in love with him after he'd sort of chased me for a while. And he was very charming and wooing. And, you know, he's a fantastic, fantastic man. But the stuff that comes with it is very, very hard to deal with. And, you know,
it's a different
nobody would have sympathy for it because everybody's dream person to be with is either Paul or George Clooney. I mean, George is cute, but nothing on Paul.
You reckon so?
Yeah.
Will you tell him that when he comes on?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Now, this story, as I said, of yours, in the 1,000 years I've been doing this show, I mean, I've come across some stories, but yours is the most remarkable of the lot. What's remarkable about it is that there's no sense in the book you've written or in any of the cuttings. There's no sense of any kind of self-pity. There's no sense of any sort of feeling that maybe life dealt you a bad hand. You've never had that feeling, have you?
I never had it until recently.
Really?
I have to be honest, yeah. I mean, I think the reason that I get so affected now, if someone throws anything physical on me, like if you paralyse me from the neck down, I'd just get a pen and I'd tap it on a computer and I'd get on with it. So I suppose losing my leg and all those kind of things, I just dealt with, right, I've got to do this now, I've got to do that now. But when you feel powerless, that things are starting to really, everything I've worked for in my life, everything I've tried to do and overcome and survive and it's just all been forgotten. And it's all just, she's the, you know, the bird of Paul McCartney. And, you know, and just knock, 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 knock. So that's affected me really, really badly. But
what about what that apart? What was the worst time? I mean, was it being abused as a child? Was it living rough in London? Was it losing the limb? I mean, is it possible to quantify those things and to say that was the lowest point of my life?
No, the lowest point of my life has been since the press turned on me really badly. Which sounds crazy, but I think what it is you start off as a whole being and then things chip away. So yes, my mother left, then my father abused me, and then my father went to prison, and then my mother, and I think you just slowly get chip away, and you've got so much strength. And in the end, when you're put down for, you know, constantly overcoming that, and they go for you more and more and more, you just end up, and now I'm at that stage where I just feel absolutely wiped out.
Well, what about the work that you've done, though, for people like yourself who've lost limbs, or the work that you've done?
That's what keeps me going.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, that surely is your wider purpose, isn't it?
It is. When I get to go and see them, or if I go to Vietnam or Cambodia or places like that, when I go, that's really rewarding. And I go, when I get out of England, that's when I go, oh, you know, that's, why did I even let that affect me? Do you know what I mean? It's so... doesn't matter. I think you have to let it not affect you. I think you have to get on with your life in a sense, and I think you will. And I'll overcome that, but it's such a shock. Yeah. Well, when you lost your leg in an accident, you were hit by a police motorbike, and then people know that story, I'm sure. What fascinates me, though, about you is the way that you decided, having lost a limb, that you weren't going to be saddled with these awful artificial limbs that the National Health Service gave you. Well, I looked at Madame Tussauds, and I looked at my leg, the first one they gave me, and I said, hang on a minute, Joan Collins, as a dummy, has got better legs than me. Why am I wearing that disgusting leg? And I took the photograph back to the prosthetist, and I said, come on, there's got to be something. This is disgusting. It's heavy. And I found out they allocated half the money now than they used to allocate 20 years ago, so no wonder the legs were so bad. And they were under pressure to do them quickly. So I worked with a guy, Bob Watts, at Dorset Orthopaedic for a few years. Bit of a guinea pig, few problems to start with. Legs would fall off and knock skiers out and things like that. When you're on the chairlift, I used to. Well, tell me that story. It was a lovely story. I used to. There was a woman in hospital that said you'll never ski again. I was like, right. So the following week I went to France, and I got on a chairlift and I pulled the bar down for skiers that know. but it didn't go underneath the legs. And I had a really heavy boot and a heavy leg on. And I'm sitting next to this German guy, he's going, Einsweiden that? I'm going, yes. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. Going up on the chairlift. And I thought, my left leg feels really light. And I looked down and my leg was flying down the mountain. And this snowboarder's looking up going, oh my God. I'm going, it's all right, there's no blood, it hasn't just happened. And so I had to sort of wobble off the top, got to the bottom, and he's standing there, white as a ghost, with his ski and boot and leg, just going, are you all right? I said, no, it's not real, don't worry about it. So then I just got some of that black masking tape, strapped it on, and developed a ski leg.
You have, what, 4 legs, don't you?
I've got 4 legs now, one for rollerblade, one for ski, and 1 high heel and 1 flat for the gym. And it's funny, because even today, my husband, I say, can you get me my leg out the cupboard? He goes, oh, yeah. And we went swimming in the ocean once, and I didn't realise the leg would fill up with water, because I was doing some surfing, and it was big waves, and it filled up with water, and it just went and popped off. And I said, get my leg, it's flying behind you. And he's like, wait, what? So we had some funny moments.
When it happened, I mean, surely you must have gone through all those obvious thoughts about, God, I mean, will anybody ever fancy me again? Do you ever think of that?
No, I'm afraid I never thought that.
Do you not think that?
No.
I mean, it's a cruel thing to say, I know that.
It is, and it's one of the
to
things I talk to about young girls all the time, because, you know, I was lucky in a way that I lost my leg at 25 because I was a very kind of sexually confident woman. But now I'm 35. But if I'd not had the relationships I'd had before I lost my leg, then I may have been, or had bad relationships or whatever, a bit more, oh, they might not fancy me. But a woman did come in the hospital once, a counsellor, and said, Heather, you're being far too positive about this, you know. And I said, am I? She said, yes, far too positive. She said, you know, you're disabled. And I went, yeah, I'm disabled, but, you know, I'll get a leg one day and I'll put it on. And every day she'd come in and try and beat me down, because that was the way they did it. And in the end she said, you know that men won't find you as attractive as they did before? I looked at this woman who was not very attractive, very unsightly actually. And I said, look darling, both arms and both legs missing, I'd still be more attractive than you. So she just slammed her book down and went out. And that's when I realised that I needed to start helping people. Because if that's the kind of counselling they were getting, you'd lose all confidence if you didn't start off with much.
But you've never really, I mean, in your view, being, if I read the book right, being disabled is a state of mind, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I've never been worried about people calling you disabled or what the terminology is. I think people worry too much about that. So I try and get people. The problem is when people don't understand something, when they're ignorant, that breeds fear. And fear breeds nervousness, which is like, how do I deal with this? This person's in a wheelchair. Do I get down? Do I do this? Do I do that? And if you just be yourself, and if they're disabled, as we call us, say, you know, just have a sense of humour, they have to become the strong person that helps that able-bodied person overcome their ignorance and their fear. So it's just about empowerment. You know, when I have had boyfriends in the past, I'll just pop my leg off and say, give my leg a rub. And they're like, you know, because it's just this little leg there. So it's about confidence. I've known models that...
Have you had anybody who rejected that notion?
Never. Well,
Never.
3 of them asked to marry me, but...
Did they?
Yeah.
Having massaged your leg?
Absolutely. It's like, my girlfriend says it's like bread dough, because it's all sort of soft.
What about the work that you're still doing now for the disabled? You've got this landmine charity that you're working for now. You and Paul work together on that. What's terrifying, again, I read in your book, and I hadn't quite thought through this, but you make the point there that these landmines, and there are millions of them around in various parts of the globe, that they are actually set there specifically to disabled people, because that it becomes an economic factor, because a disabled person is a burden on the country.
Exactly.
If you kill them, you bury them.
Yeah.
So that they're specifically designed to maim.
And that's what would be so ridiculous about America using them in Iraq, for instance. America, on one side, put the most funds out to clear them. So if they're going to suddenly stick them all down again, then it just goes round in circles. And most of the generals that have retired now actually say that 40% of the people injured are children.
Yes.
And then 80% are men, women and children, and maybe 2% are soldiers, and usually soldiers on their side.
Yes.
So they're just barbaric. There's no reason to use them whatsoever.
But you see the results of this whenever you go to Cambodia or places like that, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you just see some horrible situations where children literally cannot go out of their garden. They can literally have that little bit at the front yard, and they have to tiptoe in between mines going to school. And
Those are the ones they know about.
And they're the ones they know about.
Yeah, precisely.
You know, they totally, it's awful.
Now, you've talked a little bit about the downside of the marriage to Paul, but let's not be upbeat about it.
Oh, no, not the marriage to Paul. The downside of the fame on his,
well,
on his
that's
side
the
is...
same thing. I mean, there can't be a downside to marrying that sexy hog, can there?
No.
Is he very romantic?
He's very romantic. That's why I fell in love with him. He said to me, how do I keep somebody like you? And I said, romance. I said, it doesn't have to be anything else, just romance and lots of love.
But how do you define romance? I mean, what's romantic?
Romantic to me is not just, you know, writing a check out and going, there you go. Romance is like picking up a feather and collecting some chestnuts or...
a feather?
Yeah, a feather for Heather. That's what he does all the time. Or planting a Christmas tree in your garden without you knowing, and you wake up on Christmas morning and he's planted a tree that he's driven 3 hours, chopped down and brought back and put lights all over it. You know, it's that kind of thoughtfulness, bringing me breakfast in bed every morning, no matter how he feels. And I do the dinner, so we've got that agreement. So it's just thoughtfulness.
And are you? And I mean, you're a fairly strong person, aren't you? You're a very strong person.
I think you have to be to go out with someone like Paul, yeah.
Do you? Why
Definitely.
is that? Why?
Because he, you know, got to keep his feet on the ground.
You've got to keep his feet on the
Yeah.
ground. You see that as your job, so anchoring Paul McCartney, do you?
No, I just think, well, because he's so adored. You know, if I was somebody that was like a fan, he would never have been attracted to me. You know, if I was somebody that was like, oh my God, you're just the most gorgeous. That is a real turn-off. So anyone that fancies George Clooney, just be cool and calm. Don't start screaming, because it really isn't a turn-on at all.
She'll tell Dawn French that, because I think she's actually getting working on it. And as you know, with Dawn French, she'll snog anybody as well. Yeah. I mean, that Hugh Grant, I mean, was a kiss an ugly sod like that, eh?
Bless him.
Bless him. OK, so then what's the future now, then? Carry on this work with the landmine?
Carry on with the Dr. Minefield, and just sort of try and encourage the nice side of the press to just lay off me a little bit, because it is creating a lot of damage in other areas that they probably are not aware of. And just have fun.
All right, OK. Well, for the moment, Heather Mills-McCartney, thank you very much indeed.
Thank
Heather.
you.
Music now, and the latest single from one of popular music's most enduring groups, the song Sunrise, the group Simply Red.
Look into your eyes, I see the sunrise. The light behind your face helps me realize. We sleep and sometimes love until the moon shines. Maybe the next time I'll be yours and maybe you'll be mine. I don't know if it's even in your mind. Is it in your mind at all? It could be me, it should be me. Forever, forever. Wandering through life, will love come home to you? And the love you want forever, will they be true to you? We sleep and sometimes love until the moon shines. Maybe the next time I'll be yours and maybe you'll be mine. I don't know if it's even in your mind at all. It could be me, that's ingrained in your mind. Love's indescribable. It could be me, it should be me.
My next guest is not so much an entertainer, more an institution. She's not simply popular, she's beloved. She's also adventurous. Her latest and boldest project to date is a one-woman play called My Brilliant Divorce, which opens next week in London's West End. Ladies and gentlemen, Dawn French. Now, come on, explain the dog.
Is that a Westie?
Yes, it is a Westie, yes.
It's a...
This is Axel. He's my co-star in the play.
Is he?
Yeah. There's just me and Axel on stage, so he was a bit upset that you'd asked me and not him. And, you know, there were some tantrums, typical actor stuff, and so I thought I'd better bring him on. He's always wanted to meet you.
Has George Clooney seen him?
No, I don't think he has
Hasn't
yet.
he? Oh.
No,
It'll
you'll
probably,
love him, though.
you see, that's the way to meet people, to get
Is
talking
it?
about your dogs.
I don't need dogs to get near gorgeous men.
You do.
That might be one of your little tricks. That's what I use.
You have this unequivocal view of men, and I've noticed it. I've noticed, I mean, that poor Tom Jones when he's on the show with
Yeah.
you. Poor man, you frightened him to death.
Did I?
You did.
Well,
He's-
I think he enjoyed it, personally. I think he looked very happy afterwards, didn't he? He came home with me, so I don't think there was a problem there.
What about that Hugh Grant? That's,
Hugh Grant, now. Ah, lovely. I didn't catch anything at all. That was good. So I thought there was danger of that. But no, lovely. Very nice mouth.
Yes.
Very nice
And
indeed.
that was a pleasant snog, was
Yeah.
it? Uh-huh.
He's not the only one.
He's not?
Oh, no. Do you want to know about some others?
I do, please.
Okay, Johnny Depp, I've been there.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, been there.
How would Johnny Depp?
Well, he did comic relief with us. He did The Vicar of Dibley, and so there was a quick little bit of lip action going on there. He's been writing to me ever since.
Has he?
You know, I can't. I'm married. Who else now? Wonderful time. Once, Jennifer and I were in a play, and we went out for lunch with the writer of the play, who incidentally was the woman who wrote Beaches, the film. Anyway, we took her out for a treat, and she chose to go to the Ivy restaurant. So we walked into the Ivy and sat down. We were having our lunch, and Terry Gilliam came in. And I saw him, and he came over and gave us a hug, and he told us he was working on something called 12 Monkeys, which I thought was a porn film, but anyway, there you go. And he went and sat down, and then Brad Pitt walked in. Yes. Oh, yes. A sort of angel, really. And he walked past our table, fool, and he sat down with Terry Gilliam at his table. So I went to the loo soon after, and I got a piece of paper from one of the waiters, and I wrote a note to Terry Gilliam saying, "You will make Brad Pitt kiss me, or I will kill your family." And I saw the note being delivered to Terry, and he winked at me like this, and I just thought, oh, yeah, he's just enjoying the joke. And I got involved with my food, as you do, and I was somewhere near the chocolate pudding, so I wasn't really thinking, and suddenly, Brad Pitt kissing me, here, because I wasn't expecting it. I will never forgive myself for this. Didn't fully turn. It was half on, half off on that side there, which has never been washed since. And he was so brilliant. He just went, "Hey, Dawn, looking great. Can I take you out for dinner? Call you?" Like this. And then he went off and said, "Call you soon." It was fantastic. Jennifer Saunders, her chin just hit the table like this. I mean, I was so excited by it that I couldn't actually hold on to the lie for longer than about 5 seconds. It was so great.
What does the great Lenny think about all this? Does he take
Well, he knows that it has to be done. He knows.
He knows that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if Julia Roberts wanted to kiss him, I wouldn't get in the way of it, really,
You wouldn't,
frankly.
no.
You've got to take your thrills where you can get them, right?
As you go through life.
Yeah.
Now, talking about taking your thrills where you can get them,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the reason for doing this one-woman play. I mean, it seems to me that that would be not so much a thrill, more an arduous task, mentally, physically.
I cannot tell you, I have been more scared about doing this than anything I have ever done.
I bet.
And I'm not really sure why I've agreed to do it, except that it's very funny. It's a great play, and it's quite moving as well, and I loved it when I was first sent it, so I knew I wanted to do it. But originally it came to me from the Druid Theatre Company in Galway, and they wanted me to go to Galway and do it, and I thought, oh good, I've got an excuse not to do it because Galway's too far away. So I can say that that's my reason, but my real reason was fear, because it's, 80 pages of dialogue, and I thought I will never learn all of that. So I just thought, phew, got an excuse. And then it came back a year later as an opportunity to do it in the West End. And I thought, well, now my only reason not to do it is fear, and that's the very reason I must do it. So I'm doing it every night. And I'm on stage on my own, except for Axel, for an hour and a half.
And do you talk to Axel?
Axel and I become very good friends. There's nothing pervy about it, Michael.
No,
Don't go there.
No, I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't,
It's all completely innocent. But, yeah, I do converse with Axel. He's my only friend in this play.
It's called My Brilliant Divorce.
It is.
And
it's written by a writer called Geraldine Aaron, an Irish writer.
And the explanation, I suppose, of the theme of it's in the title.
It is, yeah. It's about a woman who gets divorced, of course. And it's about, really, what happens to her and the mistakes she makes and how she feels about it. And it's pretty much what divorced friends of mine have told me divorce is like. The times that people don't ask you to dinner because you're not part of a couple, and the awful rumours you hear about your ex, and the horrible, embarrassing new dates you have when you haven't dated anybody for 20 years. And, it's got some great stuff in it. It's got some great gags in it.
Has Lenny been to see the show?
He did. He came on the very first night of the first preview.
And?
48 notes, I think, afterwards.
And
do this,
Billy, your
do
daughter?
that. No, she hasn't been to see it, and I'm not sure she will. She's only 11, and there are references in it to things that I don't want to have to explain just yet. Below stairs things.
Yes.
And I just, I don't want to risk that at the moment.
But of course she's, getting older and
she is,
heading toward that terrible teenage
definitely.
time.
She's 11, but going on about 16,
well, girls
actually.
Are, yeah.
And, I realise I've made some very big mistakes with the parenting thing, because I thought that parenting was now sort of more liberal, that you negotiate and you chat and talk about things. In fact, you should just have a big bust-up. That's what you should do. Because I realise that now my daughter is totally in charge. She's in charge of the whole life. And, we thought, let's talk about everything that happens, but I would actually like you to put your socks on. So I say, could you put your socks on? That starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, because we get up at 6 every day. And by 6:15, I'm going, could you put your socks on? And then 6:30, could you put your socks on? Then we get to about 7:15, and honestly, she's not moved in the meantime. Could you just put your socks on now? and then I start back, I go back to the look. Sorry, I lost my temper. Could you put your socks on? Socks on. Could you put socks on, socks on, socks on, socks on, socks on, until about 9 o'clock. When I really do lose it, and I say, socks on! and then she turns to me and she says, let's examine how you've made me feel now.
Oh. That's not negotiable.
That's not it. She said, thanks a lot for sending me to school feeling stressed. And then I've ended up doing deals with her. Deals where she promises to behave like a sane human being if I give her a quid. So I can't, everything I do, anytime you will ever see me with her, I've had to pay her to not misbehave. She's absolutely got it going. She owns the house. She owns the mortgage. She is in charge. She threatens us. I'm scared of her. She's just so canny, It's like, it's a big mistake to be quite so liberal early on.
But I think... But the damage is done now. There's nothing you can do about it.
The damage
Absolutely.
is done, that's it.
And, of course, you've got this terrible time coming up, of course, when she's sort of 13 and boys and all that sort of thing.
No, we've got a rule about that.
What's
that will be solved easily. Lenny's got a whole system worked out.
Right.
The first sniff of a boy, and it usually is a sniff, isn't it? She's going to be chained down in the basement. Yeah. So we won't have any problems with that.
That's a nice liberal view.
Yeah, well, you know, that's to help her. That's for her own good. It worked for me.
I read when I was talking about your daughter, of course she's an adopted daughter.
She is, yeah.
I read that part of the preconditioning of adopting her was that you had to lose weight.
I did, yeah, I did.
I didn't realise.
Well,
Why
there's a
was
sort
that?
of a chart which says that you're, if you fit on the chart, you can be a good mum. So, and the chart is immovable. For anyone, I mean, and especially for us, I think because, you know, we were in the public eye, so the people who were involved with the adoption wanted to do it absolutely by the letter, and they didn't want us to be seen to be having any special privileges. So they really were tough on me about losing the weight. And I said, look, if I do it at all, I'm just doing it because you've told me to do it.
Yes.
You realise I won't be doing it forever, so I'm not going to lie to you about that. But are you seriously saying that I have to get down to blah, blah, whatever it was? I can't remember. Down to 18 stone, I think it was. I just had to lop off the 10, you know. No, it was, I can't remember. It was some ridiculous weight that you can't even survive at, like 9 stone or something.
Why is that? Why is that? Health reasons?
I think it is health reasons, that's right. I mean, I sort of understand it. If a kid is going to come to you, they want to make sure that you're going to live as long as possible and that you are as healthy as you can possibly be. But they were very strict with me, and I did it. I mean, I did it because I had to do it. But, you know, the minute she came to us, that was it. That was it. Chocks away.
but I mean, you also, I mean, when you married Lenny, you got down to size 12.
I did. That's the only 2 times I've done it my whole life.
Yeah.
And that was just foolishness. That was me thinking you can't have a kind of fat bride. Now, I'd really love to be another bride and be fat. I'm going to have a word with George about that, actually, because if he wants a fat bride, I could organise it, you know. But I did that because I just had this stupid lack of confidence just all of a sudden. You know, but then I was a lot younger then. I wouldn't even dream of that now.
But I mean, doesn't the business of weight worry you in the sense of illness?
No, absolutely not.
It never has.
No, well, I can outdance most girls I know. I've never had any complaints about other activities. You know, I don't feel unhealthy in any way at all. I wish I could find a chink in my confidence about it to moan about, but I haven't got one. I don't know why I haven't got one.
Do you think we're too concerned about the kind of figures that people
I honestly think it couldn't matter less, don't you?
Definitely. When I speak to you talking earlier about amputees and losing a leg, you can still be sexy to a guy and all that kind of stuff. And when I talk to them, I say I've got friends that are like 20 stone who have great relationships, really happy. It's all about confidence. And then I've got friends who are like 7.5 stone models who have eating disorders and can't ever get a boyfriend because there's no confidence. So it's really about confidence and if you're happy and...
Yeah.
Happy in your own skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've not done too bad either. Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, no doubt George Clooney's in mortal danger when he comes along. Lenny Henry.
Yeah, he's the best, isn't he?
Don't touch Paul because he's...
No, I'm booked.
No, and finally, you've got this comic relief sketch coming out, which I'm very much looking forward to. But you're doing a takeoff of Harry Potter.
We are. Yes, I play Harry, who has sprouted 44G jugs. Which is a bit of a problem and not what everyone expected.
No.
Jennifer plays Ron. We've got Miranda Richardson in there, and we've got Jeremy Irons in there, and we've got Ronnie Corbett in there. It was just the best fun to do this sketch.
Yeah.
It was the best fun. They're going to show it on Comic Relief night.
That's right. Well, we'll look forward to that
Thanks.
after the night itself. Well, all the best in my brilliant
Will you come
divorce.
and see it?
I will come and see it.
I'm only doing it for 3 months.
That's right,
so
it's amazing.
Roll up for disappointment.
Which theatre is it?
It's at the Apollo Theatre.
The Apollo Theatre.
Yeah.
And
It's a good laugh.
I've grown rather attached to this
I know,
dog.
he's fantastic, isn't
Yes,
he?
and I swear I felt
Lovely.
him move against my leg
I'm
then.
so sorry. I think he has actually lifted his leg. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's awful.
Dawn French, thank you very much indeed. Dawn French. Now, In the long list of Simply Red's greatest hits, there's one song that's lasted longer than any other. Cole Porter wrote it 59 years ago, in 1944, for a show called Seven Lively Arts, the song The Everlasting and Wonderful, Every Time We Say Goodbye.
Time we say goodbye, I die a little. Every time we say goodbye, I wonder why a little, why the gods above me, who must be in the know, think so little of me, they allow you to go. When you're near, there's such an air of spring about it. I can hear a lark somewhere begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor every time we say goodbye. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor every time we say goodbye.
My final guest played a doctor in ER and became an international heartthrob. Today, he's a movie superstar who takes nothing for granted. Two of his latest projects prove the point. One is a science fiction mystery called Solaris. In the other, he makes his debut as a director. It's a story of Chuck Barris, the man who invented trash television. But more than that, later claimed he was a hitman with 32 kills to his credit. In this scene, he's recruited by a CIA agent.
I've never known a television producer before. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Okay. What's this money deal you were talking about?
I work for a government agency. Always looking for good, enthusiastic men to help us carry out our directives.
What kind of work? What government agency?
Problem-solving work. The Office of Diplomatic Security.
I never heard of it. Is that CIA or something?
Please be discreet, Mr. Barris.
Why me?
I'm happy to report you fit our profile, Mr. Barris. Are you interested in the work?
What's the profile?
Are you interested in the work, Mr. Barris?
Ladies and gentlemen, George Clooney.
Do this. Come here.
God. She's like...
Thank you, Dawn.
Yeah, dream on.
I was with Lenny back there.
Oh, dear. Wonderful. She draws them in like some of a mermaid luring them out of the rocks, doesn't she?
She's mean that way.
She's mean. Yeah, she doesn't care. I think it's that men find attractive in her. She just doesn't care. Now, let's talk about that movie. I mean, I saw Chuck Barris about 20 years ago, more, 30 years ago in America, and I could not believe what I saw. This is the man who invented trash television. It makes Jerry Springer, he was probably his godfather, wasn't he? That kind of guy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Something to be proud of.
Yes, absolutely. The man who invented trash television.
Yeah.
We're all in his debt. And then this book that he wrote, where he claimed to have been a hitman for the CIA and 32 kills. So, I mean, I needn't ask you what attracted you to the book. I mean, it's an extraordinary story, isn't it?
Well, I thought it was... I mean, I remember the first time I read it, and I thought that I thought it was a pretty funny idea. The idea of tying bad television to the CIA somehow made sense to me. And, you know, it was a really good script, and I wanted to tell the story. But I grew up in television. You know, my father hosted a game show in New York in the mid-'70s called the Money Maze, which is a giant maze. And the husband would run through it, and the wife would stand above it going, you know, go left, go right, go left. And which was sort of a perfect statement on television in the 70s for us. And so I grew up on those sets, and I understood what they were like, so I thought it'd be a fun thing to do, fun thing to work on.
Yes. You mentioned the childhood there and growing up in Teleland, in a sense. I suppose from that background that you came from, and given that your auntie was Rosemary Clooney and there was all this showbiz in the family, that in a sense you're probably, genetically predisposed to going into the business?
I was forced. They forced me into it. You know, probably. There's no great, we were talking about before, there's no great fame school that they teach you, you know, hey, go off and here's how you'll handle it. But I certainly had some I would think, it's a funny question. By the way, Mick did a great job. That's a song, Rosemary, the Cole Porter song, Every Time We Say Goodbye.
It's a great song.
Big hit for Rosemary.
Yeah.
I used to drive my aunt for a long time, and so it was really something to hear that song again.
Was that your introduction to showbiz, driving
Rosemary?
for your aunt?
Well, my father had a talk show
Yeah.
early on when I was about, you know, from the time I was a kid. So whenever it was, we worked on it. You know, if it was St. Patrick's Day, I had a leprechaun outfit at like 9 years old, and my dad would interview me, and I'd have a cigar and going, well, it's a hard thing. You know? And then if it was Easter, I had a bunny outfit. My dad would go, this is a big day for you. Yeah, it's a big day.
Have you still got those outfits?
Oh, like you don't know. I'm not running around with a poodle, a dead poodle stuff.
That is not a poodle, that is a West Highland Terrier. I want to make that very clear.
But it is dead, nonetheless.
Dead.
Hey, you say that?
Don't tell her.
So therefore, it was in the genes. In a
It
sense.
was sort of. It was a great way to grow up. You know, most kids sort of have to create a fantasy life when they're kids. They make believe characters, and we had this great. It was a vaudeville act, is what we were as a family. So we had this great costume room where we could go in and play any character we wanted, that was fun
Yeah.
to do.
And what about you as a child? Were you always devastating with the ladies as a child?
Yes, I was.
Were you
And thanks
from
for
the very
bringing that
No, I just wondered. I mean,
up. You know, I was the same. You know, I was a bit of
awkward with the opposite sex.
the opposite sex.
He means girl.
Oh, yes. I did. You know, who knows? You know, I think every kid is. You know, for a long period of time, you are until alcohol comes into play.
Oh, that frees you.
It smooths things over a
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should get bra classes at school. That's what I think.
Just to unsnap the
Yeah,
things.
so that there isn't all that
I think that's what
fluffing
Velcro
around.
is for.
Yeah,
Velcro, don't you
Well,
think? No?
depends, obviously, you know, on the weighting. I'd quite like to run a school, actually, for young men.
Would you?
A kind of, you know, show you the way round kind of school.
Then you did change it.
Don't even try. Don't even try. No,
There is no seamless segue.
no, there is none.
At all. No. And then, George,
Yes,
then you went into soaps, and you did an apprenticeship in some fairly
Bad television?
Bad
are you saying?
television,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've mastered bad television. I did a series where I played an undercover cop on a Harley during the day and a rock star at night. Should have read that script before I took the job. I did a lot of bad TV. That's the problem, is it just comes back to haunt you. You know, I did bad sitcoms that are just in syndication and run sort of constantly, and I've got a nice mullet haircut and everything you could just, you know, everything bad about the 80s, you know, is me. So, yeah, it was good to get through that period of time.
And then, of course, you did ER.
Yeah, Doctor Show.
Well, but that was a marvelous TV series. I mean, that was beautifully written, beautifully
Yeah.
acted.
It was fun. It was sort of changed television for a period of time, and it was fun to do. We were very excited about being a part of that. You know, it lasted. I was there for 5 years, and it was a roller coaster ride for 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, no, I suppose that one of the consequences of that kind of apprenticeship that you served was that when the big time finally hits, you were fairly well balanced about things. You were able to take a fairly sane view of stardom.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, you're right. You are sort of, you're more prepared for it, because I was 33 when the show hit. So that's a big, you've sort of almost been famous several times, so you're sort of prepared for the fact that it has very little to do with you. I also had, you know, Rosemary was a big star, and then not famous, and she didn't become less of a singer along the way. So, you know, I got a lot of good lessons through life before I got around to the show being successful. So it was a better, you know, I feel sorry for any kid who's 20 years old and sort of hits it, because I don't know how you handle it. I don't know how you do it.
You must have met some extraordinary people, actually, when you drove for your auntie. I mean, who were you taking around?
Oh, Martha Ray. And
Martha Ray.
remember Martha Ray?
Gosh.
Oh, she was great. I remember driving her once. It was like midnight, and we were in Lake Tahoe, and we were driving out on the streets, and she said, "Pull the car over." And Rosemary and she were in the back, and I pulled over on the side of the street, and she literally put one leg out of the car and, you know, took a leak.
Classy!
Oh, yeah. My aunt told me not to turn around. I'd learned too much about the aging process. I agreed. And Helen O'Connell was great. She was a great, fun lady. And there were, you know, all of the women, Kay Starr and Rosemarie. But that was a fun time. Tony Bennett for a period of time, too.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. And what about also, too, you mentioned in research is the fact that your Uncle George was a very big influence in your life.
Oh, huge influence. He's actually my great uncle, but he was the great character in my family's life. He was a horse trainer, and I was named after him. And he was mostly just sort of an alcoholic, but a good alcoholic in a good way. And he just, you know, he would teach us. I worked at the racetrack in Kentucky with him for a couple of summers, and we had a goat that we took care of. I took care of the goat, and he'd watch after the horses. And I remember we fell asleep. He was drunk on the side of the river once and fell asleep, and the goat got out on the racetrack in the middle of like the third race, and we were both, I was asleep and he was passed out, and they woke us up and said, you know, "George, your goat's in the middle of the third race." And he said, "How'd it finish?" He was one of those great characters, though, that he
But
taught
what did
me
you
a lot.
learn from him? I mean, what was it that you admired about him?
Well, he was one of those people that understood that he lit up a room. You know, if we were sitting here right now, he'd be telling you a story, and we'd all be better off because of him. We'd be better off because we were in the room with him. And he taught you how to sort of embrace and enjoy the things that are going well, and sort of embrace and enjoy the things that aren't going well. He also taught you not to wake up at 70 years old and say, "I should have done this," which is a good lesson, you know, in life. Died of lung cancer, you know. He's a good guy, though.
Let's talk about the other project you've got on hand now, and that's Solaris.
Yeah.
Which is a remake of a film that was made about 30 years ago, and I think it's a smashing movie. I really do. I mean, it's nice to be treated as a cinema goer, as a fairly intelligent human being. It's about lots of things. It's about, is there an afterlife? It's about grief. It's about love. It's about all kinds of questions. It's about choice.
It's about belief systems. It's
Yeah.
about God. It's about a lot of things.
It is, but it's also it's a mystery as well. It's a thriller in that best sense of the word, a psychological. There's nothing awful. There's no monsters from outer space happen, but all the time you're on edge. What is happening here? And yet in America, it didn't do well at all.
Thanks.
Try and come to the point,
No,
Michael.
Don't sugarcoat it. It's okay. I'm fine with that.
The point is, it was never going to be. It's going to be a difficult film to sell. That's the point.
No, you're right. You look, the trick is what you're trying to do is do things that you're proud of and hope last longer than an opening weekend. And this was a film that Steven Soderbergh directed it, who I'm partners with, and he's about as good a filmmaker as there is right now. And he really wanted to take some chances, and I thought that'd be an exciting project to work on, and we're, immensely proud of it. And, it didn't do very well in the States, but that's sort of, it's not really spoon-fed entertainment. It doesn't have a nice, everything tied up into a ball at the end, and it leaves you walking out asking questions, and I think that's probably dangerous, at times, if you have to think, that's God help you.
But let's hear a clip from it. It's about you as a psychiatrist going to a space station to investigate a mystery there. The space station is probing Solaris, a mysterious planet. And strange things have been happening on board. And this is where you and the rest of the crew, the surviving crew, confront each other about what's going on.
Okay. What were you trying to accomplish with that exactly?
It is a mistake to become emotionally engaged with one of them. You're being manipulated. If she were ugly, you wouldn't want her around. That's why she's not ugly. She's a mirror that reflects part of your mind. You provide the formula.
She's alive.
She is not human. Try to understand that, if you can understand anything.
What about your visitor? The one that you're so ready to destroy without hesitation. Who is it? What is it? Does it feel? Can it touch? Does it speak?
We are in a situation that is beyond morality. Your wife is dead.
How do you know that? How can you be so definitive about a construct that you do not understand?
She's a copy. A facsimile, and she's seducing you all over again. You're sick.
It's a cheery movie.
So what's happening after this then? After these two movies?
Well, I just finished a film with the Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan Coen, who I did "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Oh yeah, that was a wonderful film. I mean, you must have been happy with that.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun to do. I was a little upset they didn't let me sing. Do you have a voice? No, but I was still upset that they didn't. I went into a recording studio in Mississippi and sang. Did the whole, because the soundtrack's very big, and I sang and sang and sang, and I looked up, and none of the producers or directors would look me in the eye. I thought I was great. I'm like, hey, no. So yeah, I was a little upset, but and I don't sing in this one either.
No.
It's with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I play a divorce attorney who's rather ruthless, and she plays a woman who marries men for money, and we just. I don't mean that in a bad way either.
Irony.
Oh. She's mean.
No.
No wonder that dog's dead. It was suicide. So yeah, it's a really fun movie. It should be a lot of fun.
Speaking of marriage and things, you had a bet with Nicole Kidman, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
She had a bet with you, which was what, when you were 40? You've been married with children.
She said that when I'm 40, I'll be married with kids.
And you're not.
Well, when I'm 40, I'll let you know. What? What are you laughing about?
Can I just say on this
Go.
moot point
Yes.
here that I don't want to compromise you on TV, George, but it's got to stop. Just leave me alone from now on. You know, I don't want any more letters. I don't want any more text. I don't want any more flowers. I can't go to Paris again with you. I am married. Get over it. Move on. Okay? And probably the only dignified way that you can get out of this situation is what, one final kiss? Would that
Come on, get up here.
This will help you.
Ooh. Wow. Man, oh man.
Heather, we've been witness to an extraordinary thing there. We really
Wonderful.
have. A great meeting of libidos. Right. Well, but what's with the foot, by the way?
I
I
tore
think
my
he's
ankle.
coming out in sympathy with me.
I did that, yeah. I tore my ankle playing basketball.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right.
It
Good.
was- yeah.
Well, not good, but I mean...
Well, thanks.
I thought it might be something really serious.
Hey, at least you
Good.
still got it. Excellent. Well,
It's,
you've got some pain, that's great.
I hope the Solaris does do well, and I think it will. It's, as I said, it's a good movie, and the other one is just the weirdest story, the Chuck Barris thing. It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
And it's been great meeting you. I really.
You
really,
too. It's been
really
fun
enjoyed
being
it.
here.
And George Clooney, thank you very much indeed. George Clooney.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
Jazz boys.
Dressed up like it.
My thanks to George Clooney, to Dawn French, Heather Mills-McCartney and Stimpy Red. Next week, my guests include Jack Dee, Jamie Oliver, Damian Lewis, Jules Holland and Beverly Knight, and Lisa Stansfield. Until then, from all of us here, very good night. Good night.